Hello, my beautiful reader friends. It's Tiffany with an IE, as you can see. Welcome back to my channel and happy Easter. And for today's video, I'm going to be doing my March wrap up. So I ended up reading 17 books this month, which is the same exact number as for February. Interesting. But yeah, let's just get into this. So the first book I'll talk about is the first Dork Diaries book, Tales from a Not So Fabulous Life, and it's kind of like a graphic novel slash comic book. Yeah, I was reading this with one of my students and it was a lot of fun. Although I do see that like the artwork in the first two books, it's kind of a little bit more stick figure-y, but it does get better as the books go along. It's still very good art compared to like Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So yeah, and the storyline was still really awesome. So yeah, overall I was very happy with it. Gave it 5 stars. Actually, I gave almost all of these books this month 5 stars. There's only one that I gave 4 stars, but yeah, I will get to that one. The second book is a picture book. It's called A Stone Sat Still. It's kind of a tongue twister. A Stone Sat Still. And yeah, it was like, I didn't really know what to expect from this. I just saw it on my Libby app and I read it and it was really interesting. It also rhymed, but it was also like very like aesthetically pleasing and also like had an interesting like slash good message. So yeah, definitely liked it. 5 stars. The next 2 books I read with my other student, and both of my students that I tutor, they're sisters. So yeah. So we continued on with the My Weird School series. We read Miss Small is Off the Wall, and I gave that 5 stars. And Mr. Hind is Out of His Mind, also gave that 5 stars. That one had kind of a like bittersweet or like melancholy ending, but it was, yeah, I was very impressed, but both of them were really good. And then the next book I read, I actually have a review video for this. I will link it in the cards so you can check it out. But it is for the first book in the Cookie Chronicles, Ben Yokoyama and the Cookie of Doom, which is right here. So yeah, this one is also like sort of a graphic novel as well. There's lots of pictures. It's like mixed media. And yeah, this was amazing. Gave it 5 stars. If you want to hear more about my thoughts, go check out my review video for that. The next book, let's see. Oh, I don't have a physical copy of this because this is another one that I have a review video for, but the book doesn't come out till April 13th. So I read an e-arc of it, but it is The Mary Shelley Club. And I gave this 5 stars, was completely like blown away, not expecting like anything really from this book. I mean, I was intrigued by both the title and the synopsis because it has like sort of secret society aspect of it, and the main character has a secret like traumatic past and stuff, and it was definitely really interesting. Yeah, so if I didn't already say, I gave that 5 stars. At first I was thinking like while I was reading maybe 4 stars, but I think it was like the ending, the last few chapters that like really sold it for me, so I gave it 5 stars. But I did pre-order it, so yeah, when April 13th comes around, I'll get my hard copy of it. Yeah, so the next book, oh, and if I didn't also mention, wait, I think I just mentioned it, but yeah, I did a review video for it, so I'll also link it in the cards. And then my next book, I have another review video as well. It was really busy at the beginning of this month, but yeah, I'll link that in the cards too. But it is for Songs of Insurrection by J.C. Kong. This is the first book in the Dragon Songs saga, and yeah, I gave this 5 stars as well. Got a different copy that doesn't have pages falling out of it. Yeah, I read Thorn of the Night Blossoms by the same author, and I have a review video for that as well, but I think I can only link 3 cards, so yeah. Anyways, check that out as well. That book is like a lot skinnier, and yeah, it's also different main characters and stuff, but his writing, his world building, it's amazing. So highly recommend. And he's like an indie author, so support indie authors, and he's Asian, so support Asian authors as well, and other POC authors. Yeah, so that was 5 stars. The next book I read was Wings of Ebony by JL. I gave this 5 stars. As I've been saying, I mean, I kind of sound like a broken record now, but I read this for my friend DJ's like Instagram book chat, that book club, and then we had a book chat for it. And the author actually joined us like on Zoom when we discussed this book, and it was just like such a joy to talk with her and, you know, discuss like spoilers and stuff. She was awesome, and I got so much good stuff out of this book. Like, yeah, so I mean, definitely like trigger warnings for like racism, microaggressions, you know, all that stuff. But yeah, the ending was definitely different than what you would expect with most like stories where Black characters have to deal with systemic racism. And so it was like more hopeful, and yeah, I really love this. And also it's very like raw and unfiltered. There's lots of language, so if you know, just be careful going into that if that's something that, you know, bugs you. But I would highly recommend this book, and it's so beautiful. Oh, and look, underneath, it's even more beautiful. So yeah, highly recommend. And then for Mysterious Galaxies Young Adult Book Club, we read The Gilded Ones, and this was another 5 star. Just like, you know, Black authors in their own voices books, like, you know, hitting it out of the ballpark. It's been super amazing. So yeah, like just this one, oh, it just has like the pretty sort of spine, but I know that some book boxes have chosen this book for March and even before then. But yeah, super amazing. It's really great for like, I felt like the ending of this book, this could have been a standalone, but it's slated to be a trilogy, so I'm interested to see where she'll go next with this world and stuff. But there's a lot of stuff to unpack in this book, similar to Wings of Ebony, like similar themes and stuff. But yeah, super awesome. 5 stars. Okay, the next book I read was another picture book. When my friends got me this for my birthday, it is The Book Itch, which is Freedom, Truth, and Harlem's Greatest Bookstore. So the author is actually, she is, I remember she said, oh, okay, she's the, okay, well, the person who opened this bookstore, like back in the 80s or a long time ago, is her great uncle. And this bookstore actually no longer exists, but yeah, this is like a nonfiction picture book chronicling like the history of that, and just like the dream that her great uncle had about wanting Black people to be educated and be able to have a safe place to read books, and like even if they couldn't afford to buy the books. And it was just like really like amazing learning about this. And yeah, it was a great book. So, you know, 5 stars. Okay. The next book, this one's also kind of a picture book, and I stumbled upon this because I want to do some recommendation videos that are like kind of like a guide to like certain authors, like, oh, like you know, I want to do one of Marie Lu because she's my favorite author, but I still need to finish all her books. And then another one of my favorite authors is April Lynn Pike, and she actually co-wrote this with her husband, I think. But this is called Clockwork Scott, and it actually came out last year. It's not one of her usual type of books because she's known for like the Wings Quartet, which I really love, the first one, and it has to do with fairies, but it's really unique. This one is actually, it's like sort of steampunk robot-ish, as you can see, but at the end it actually says that this is based on the true story of the real Clockwork Scott, and how he was in this accident, and then him recovering after. But yeah, just amazing story. Highly recommend. 5 stars. Okay. Then I have The Lover's Dictionary. Also gave this 5 stars. It was a really quick, short read. I haven't read that much from David Levithan. It's been kind of mixed. I read Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, which he co-wrote with Rachel Cohn, and I really enjoyed that. And then I also read Will Grayson, which he co-wrote with John Green, and I wasn't too much of a fan of that one. But this one I really loved. I love how it's it kind of looks like a dictionary and it just goes through the alphabet, and it's just like the story of like this unnamed protagonist talking about their relationship, and yeah, it's really like fascinating, and like the different words that get chosen, like yeah. So I really enjoyed this. I think I said 5 stars already. But yeah. And then I finally finished A Creature of Moonlight, which this was one of the picks from my January TBR game, and it's taken me a while, but also it's kind of one of those books that I didn't want to rush because it's very like slow and atmospheric, and the ending isn't like, it's not fast paced, and the ending isn't like shocking or anything. Like it felt like it was very true to the character and the storyline and everything. The writing was very beautiful. It felt kind of like a sleepy fairy tale-ish, but yeah, like the main character, she had a lot of agency because she's like, you know, you can't, like, I have a choice, like I can do what I want, like I don't want to do what you tell me to do, kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, this cover is very beautiful. One of my favorite covers, and then just the gilding, and yeah, and the blue end pages. Like, yeah, I love this book. It was definitely written, it came out in 2013, so this is older YA, so definitely not like the YA of now. But yeah, I still incredibly loved it, gave it 5 stars. Some might think that's a generous rating, but you know, I loved it. So yeah, okay. My next book is, this was for my March TBR for my puzzle, and it is Love Story. And this is my only 4-star rating in this entire list. I mean, I liked the writing and writing style. The story was good. It's kind of like a classic kind of story. Actually reminds me a bit of like A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks. I've seen the movie but not read the book. But yeah, there are just like a few things, like it's a little dated in some aspects because it is like a much older book. There were just like some racist like slurs, comments, or just like, you know, not respecting women or other things that I just like, you know, I didn't like as much. But overall, like I still did enjoy the story. It was just like just those few things. So that's why it's a 4-star rather than a 5-star for me. And then this is also from my TBR game for March. I read Circe by Madeline Miller, finally. And yes, of course, I have this gorgeous, beautiful UK hardcover edition from Book Depository that even has a map on the end page, and then gorgeous hardcover, just all around amazing. Yeah, so oh, I forgot to mention, I read some of these books I listened to the audiobook for, as well as following along in the book. Like this one, the audiobook helped me get through this, and it was a good audiobook. I listened to the audiobook for this one while reading it too. It was a good audiobook. And the audiobook for this one was amazing because it was narrated by Bonnie Turpin, and she narrates a bunch of audiobooks, but one that I had listened to before was On the Come Up by Angie Thomas, and she did amazing in that. She also raps the raps. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. And this one, I heard the audiobook was good, so I listened to the audiobook while reading this, and I really loved it as well. Man, Circe, like, she goes through things, and yeah, I really love this book. I was a classics major in college, so this really appeals to me. And there is a trigger warning for sexual assault in here, although, like, it's not, like, graphic, and she also, you know, gets her, like, just desserts right after, so it's not just, like, she's not helpless or anything. But yeah, she's a very powerful sorceress, and yeah, like, there's some interesting things, like, turns about, like, how the story ended and everything. So yeah, I really like this. 5 stars. Okay, the last 2 books, they're, oh, I forgot to put it in my pile. But so I didn't read all of this because there's 5 books in here. But I finally read the first 2 books in this, which are The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. 5 stars for both of them. They're amazing. I finally understand, like, you know, all the references and why people love it so much. It was so funny. And the first book I was listening to the audiobook, and Stephen Fry narrates it, and he's just so funny, and he does voices and stuff. And then the sequels are all narrated by Martin Freeman, and he did a great job too with all his voices and stuff as well, and it was super funny. So I'm definitely excited to read the other 3. I wanted to read the other 3 before, like, the month ended, but you know, stuff happens. So hopefully I can finish this month. Yeah, so we'll see. And that is it for my wrap up this month. I know it's quite long, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!